よし。こんにちは、皆さん。これはガガベです。今日の日本語練習やっていきたいと思います。The focus today will be on katakana pronunciation. Katakana kind of gives, people who learn Japanese a lot of trouble, especially if you're English speakers, because you're sort of fighting your native pronunciation of those words, and there's a Japanese pronunciation that if you learn how to use it, I feel like it'll make your life a lot easier because people will understand what you're saying because certain words will not translate. In Japan, the same word is used for chaos, but it's pronounced chaos. And if you don't say chaos, it will not translate. So, it's kind of a big thing in Japanese, and I've just been lucky that I found this guy's channel, and it's taught me a lot. And pronunciation of katakana. It's one of those things. So the guy who's commenting is Kiyo. And Kiyo is a pretty famous Japanese guy who does video game walkthroughs, usually like horror video games. He did a great one for Little Nightmares 1 and 2. And he also did Zelda recently. He also does a lot of other Nintendo games like Mario Kart. He did some Splatoon stuff too, the new Splatoon games. Really funny guy. And I love all of his videos. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description and also a link to this full video if you wanted to watch the full thing. It is hilarious. So yeah, I'm going to stick these headphones on and we'll get to it. I'm just going to pause the video when I have something to talk about.
完全に夜なんだね。夜勤的な感じなの？夜ってあんま閉まってるイメージがあるけど。お邪魔しまーす。誰もいねえ。なんだこの店。雰囲気はあんのに全然人気ないじゃねえか。店長、トイレきれい。このタイプはもう入った途端にさ、便座がウィーンって上がるやつじゃん。そして便器の中が謎の青い光で光ってるやつじゃん、これも。鏡に映ってね。トイレきれいだとちょっとテンション上がるよな。わかる
？He's very excited about the toilet. This guy, he talks really fast and he talks about a lot of different stuff. So I think it's really, really good practice. I mean, because you need to kind of acclimate to his speed. And anyways, he was just freaking out about the style of toilet that they had in the bathroom. And a lot of Starbucks have that toilet. I don't know if it's a normal thing. But one word that he said that's going to be important is tensho, which is the store manager.
開けます。自分の荷物を片付けて先輩の話しかける。先輩！朝倉って言ってくれるかな？
So I guess this is the senpai. So here, so the senpai is not the tensho. The senpai is just this person's superior. So this is not the tensho right here. But he's got to talk to him about something. Yeah.
あ、先輩！こんにちは。遅れてしまいました。すみません。お前気をつけろよ。次は店長にチクるからな。うわ、や
Okay, so this is a good katakana word to know. Chikuru. Chikuru means to tattle or to tell on somebody. So, yeah, like we said earlier, this is tensho right here. And he's saying he's going to tell the store manager if this person's late again.
嫌なタイプ！船橋先輩！船橋お前嫌なタイプの先輩だったな。本当にすいません。ありがとうございます。これからは気をつけます。偉いな。首がとんでもねえ方向に曲がっちゃってるぞ、この先輩。おい、宇宙人カフェか。気をつけ。
So he's just talking about how this guy's neck is bent. とんでもない方向に曲がっちゃってる。and he says he looks like an alien. 宇宙人。And he asks, is this an alien cafe? It's a good question.
つけるだけじゃ足りないんだよ。あ、ぐちぐち言ってくるタイプもしかして。遅れないって言えよ。わかったか？はい。もう遅れません。あ、なんかもうあしらってんな、軽く。お前、オーダーの時あたふたするだろう。オーダーに困った時のために参考にビデオテープを取っておいたから目を通しておけ。ほうきを元に戻す。何だったんだこの時間。あ！ 食事のチュートリアルテープっていうのがある。これ見てみればいいってこと？こっちか？うわー、このコンポジット線でビデオ見る感じ、なんかさ、夜勤事件でも見た気がすんな。ちょっと C でしゃがんで見てみる。冷蔵庫から、これもしかして俺やんなきゃいけないのこれ。すげえ！ちょっと楽しそうじゃない？本当にここでバイトしてる感覚になるってこと？うわー、なんかあれだね。ビデオで見てるっていうからさ、なんかどんな感じなのかなって思ったけどさ、リアルだね結構。で、ちゃんとみんなも今見てると思うんだけども、全然頭に入ってこない。何しらいいかわかんねえから、実際にやってみてのタイプだな。最後に蓋しろってことね。なんかオーダーステッカーとか書いてたから、オーダー
That's a cool one. 頭に入ってこない。So it's like when you're listening to somebody speak and everything they're saying is just going one ear and out the other. 頭に入ってこない. So he's just like watching this video, and for this game, he's going to have to make these drinks, but he's just not paying attention.
ステッカーとかなんかやんのか？で、こっち、先輩お前どこここ？これ外に、これ裏口なのね。バイト普通裏口から入らねえか。これ普通に正面から行かなかったか。ブレーカーを落とすわけにはいかない。先輩何してんだよこの時間に。ちょっと一回戻ってみる。せっかくなら。今私しゃがんでるんですよね、きっと。しゃがみです。いらっしゃいませー。しゃがみです。客を待たせてる。客を待たせてるからさ、直接横で注文取ろうぜ。どうしました？立っていい？
横で注文取ろうぜ。So like he can't get out of the gate right there, so he's just like, yeah, I'll go take this guy's order for like standing right next to him. Such a great idea. Kiyo is full of great ideas. That's his job.
たかし、チラーズコーヒーといったか、こういう洒落た店は初めてなんだ。たかし、普通客の名前いちいち聞かねえぞ。でもたかしなんだな。なんかたかし、上着がなんかちょっとぐにょってなっちゃってるから、ちょっとシャッてしなちゃんと。
So he's talking about his jacket, and I had no idea about that word beforehand. But see how the jacket, the button is kind of off kilter, it's like messed up here. ぐにょっとなってる. And then he says パシャッと. So I think a cool thing about like watching something like this, you can see what he's describing, and he's saying that this is ぐにょっとなってる, and he's asking it to be like パシャって. So he's like, get your buttons right, or straighten out your coat. You know, it's kind of a messed up, missing the buttonhole here. Kind of a small detail, but it's the small details. The devil's in the details.
どうも落ち着かない。この店はなんか変だよな。宇宙人カフェですからね。たかし。娘が好きみたいでよく飲んでいるから来てみたんだが。なんか可愛いところあるじゃん、たかし。娘が好きだから自分も分かってあげようみたいな感じで。飲み物は君に任せるよ。じゃあお前水な。2つお願いするよ。水2つでいいのか？お飲み物がお2つでよろしいですか？それでいいよ。それにしても本当に不快だ。何があんま不快言わないでください。目の前で。それが不快です。こんなものにこんな値段するのか。がさり。確かにちょっと俺も思います。なんかおしゃれなものって高えけどさ、別に特別めちゃくちゃうめえわけでもねえし。ちょっと待って何を俺突然悪口言おうとしてるな。
Okay, 悪口. So talking shit about something. So he was just Takashi says that the drinks are pretty expensive in this store, and I think the drinks at Starbucks are expensive, right? And then Kiyo is starting to complain about how the drinks are expensive and they're not really 特に美味しくないのに. Yeah, they're not really anything special. So yeah, 悪口.
たかし、誘導だ。誘導尋問だ。たかしの誘導尋問にあるところだった。たかし待ってろ。なんか一番簡単な水ねえのが水。コールドカップなんか作ってみっか。コールドカップコーヒーディスペンサー置けねえのこれ。
Okay, so you know, there's going to be like chains of katakana words. And that's one of them. Cold cup, coffee dispenser. Cold cup, coffee dispenser. It's hard for me to really say. But that's kind of the target here. Like, you got to listen to these words and then kind of go through them and try to imitate how he's saying them. And this really does help yourself, become more understood when you're in Japan. Let's take it back like a second or two.
なんか一番簡単な水ねえのが水。
コールドカップ。
コールドカップ。なんか作ってみっか、コールドカップ。コールドカップコーヒーディスペンサー。OK？
コールドカップコーヒーディスペンサー。コールドカップコーヒーディスペンサー。I'm not really good at it.
コーヒープラススチームミルク完成した。なんか俺こっそり豆乳持ってないかって持って蓋してたかしできた。たかし、はい、たかしできましたよこれ多分。ラテ、あ、もっともらってくれた、たかしもらってくれた。たかし会計たかし会計先会計済ましてるか。お前ありがとうもなんもなく。たかし
会計 is you gotta the bill. You gotta pay the bill. So he's just shouting at him to pay the bill. When you're asking for a bill at a restaurant in Japan, it's お会計お願いします。
した暇があったらまたお越しくださいませ。この店常に暇なんで。あ、ここにもある。シフォンケーキ。
Okay, so he's gonna read out all of these names, and this is part of the practice where you just kind of have to think about it. And I usually have two versions of the word in my head, and I keep them pretty separate. But there's the Japanese version and the English version, and it's helpful to know like the very clear differences between those. So let's take each one of these one at a time.
なんかいろんなポチッといろいろパクっとく。アップルパイ、
アップルパイ、アップルパイ、アップルパイ、apple pie, アップルパイ、apple pie, アップルパイ. So there's no a sound in Japanese, so it's アップルパイ。
ターサンド、これって大量になんか俺さゲットできてんのかな今。あ、待って人が来た。すいません。あ、やべ。なんか俺飯なんかお菓子食いながら接客してるみたいになっちゃう。サランヘヨ知ってます？ストーカー事件が増えてるんですって。そう。
Okay, this is another good practice for some katakana. Stalker. So a stalker. Stalker. They don't really, there's no aw vowel sound. Aw. It's more stalker. So the a, I, u, e, o vowels in Japanese really don't change. So it's never going to be like a weird vowel. It's always going to be a, I, u, e, o. Those are the options. So, we have some weird stuff in English where you have the word B-O-S-S and we say boss. And that has the aw sound, even though it's an O letter. So it kind of, English is actually the harder language to read sometimes. But in this case, it's stalker.
そうなの？怖いね。怖いわよね。私なんかほら、こんな感じだから気をつけないと。こんな感じってどんな感じ？男の人みんないつも見てくるから。あなたも。まあ、私ほどじゃないけど気をつけたらいいわ。なんかいちいちお前めんどくせえやつだな。ちょっとだけムカつくやつだな。普通。
So this girl is basically saying like, oh, I'm really pretty and stalkers are trying to, kidnap me, but maybe they'll try to kidnap you too because you're kind of pretty as well. Not as pretty as me. And he calls her mendokse, which is a good way to, good word to remember. Pain in the ass, mendokse. especially if it's pronounced mendokse and not mendokusai. Mendokse is sounds kind of like more like a guy is saying it, but girls can say it like that too. But it's more of a masculine way to say it. Mendokse, not mendokusai.
普通にシンプルにムカつくんじゃねえぜ。ちょっとだけムカつくやつだぜ。注文はダークモカチップチラペチーノ。
Okay, so this is the real challenge for tonight's katakana lesson, and it's basically this dark mocha chip tirapetino, tirapetino. And it's funny because the Kiyo makes a lot of jokes about it. And he's usually messing around. So his pronunciation isn't necessarily right. He's just like kidding. And he's kind of like waffling on a lot of sounds. But it's really funny. And it'll, it's kind of listening to it all is great practice. So let's listen to it a few times and see if we can kind of get the sounds right. And I'll try it a few times too. Yeah, this part like cracked me up when I first saw it.
注文はダークモカチップチラペチーノ。わからんわ何ダークモカチップチラペチーノって10問。
ダークモカチップチラペチーノ。ダークモカチップチラペチーノ。チラペチーノ。I think it's okay. I think I can do it. ダークモカチップチラペチーノ。In English, by the way, dark mocha chip chilappuccino. Dark mocha chip chilappuccino. Because this is the name of this store is Chilla. So it's kind of like a play on the name. Dark mocha chip chilappa. I can't even say it in English.
なんだっけダークモカチップチラペチーノマチーノもう一度見に行こう。ボリボリ食いながら見に行こうぜ。どこだどこにあるんだダークモチからカチッポチカチカペチーノあった。ブレンドアイスプラスコーヒープラスミルクプラスチョコレートソースプラスココアパウダー。めんどくせ
I think like this is like the what kind of made me think about this video and like the katakana challenge, because reading this board, this is all katakana, right? So if you really want to brainwash yourself into like reading a bunch of katakana, this would be the practice. ブレンドアイスプラスコーヒープラスミルクプラスチョコレートソースプラスココアパウダー。
お右のお菓子邪魔でミルク以外なんかねえのか。おバニラシロップも必要じゃねえかお前。オッケーバニララテもこれで作れる。ちょっとこれ見ながらやるか。ダークモカプチプチプチラプチーノ。皆さんお待たせしました。もう一回しっかりビデオを見てきたんで今度こそちゃんとできると思います。ビデオがねこのダークチカペチコモカパッチラマチーノがねもう作り方を書いてたわ。でこれコーヒー入れた後にすぐにもう牛乳入れちゃうんですよ。でこれもうちょっとある程度準備してる。もうなんか3分クッキングみたいな感じで準備してんだけどこれを、はい、かけます。するってとなんだかアイスっていうのができるんでぶち込むと。でチョコレートソース入れると。ほんでココアを入れると完成だ。これで黙ってんだろ。コールドカップの蓋でオーダーステッカーいった。ありがとうぐらい言え。
ありがとうぐらい言え。Say thank you. Heiten Jiken. That's all it is. Kiyo is a really good person to watch because he's just speaking normally, and of course he's like a little intense and a little kind of like over the top with his emotions, but I don't know, I feel like it gives you like a good kind of wiggle room to work within that, because he's pretty extreme, but I'm sure you're not going to be shouting at people like arigato gurai, yeah. But it's just kind of showing you like that emotional pitch, and he likes to mess around and make a lot of jokes a lot. But mainly, I think this game in particular, and also Zelda too, when he played Zelda, there's a lot of katakana in that game. So if you're working on your katakana pronunciation or your waseigo pronunciation, which I really think everybody should, then those are two really good like listening sources. So like I said, yeah, I'll try to put some of the words that came up in the description. Let me know what you think, or if you've watched Kiyo before, or if you've ever used game walkthroughs, or how do you study Japanese. But thanks as always for watching my channel. This is Kyagabe. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more Japanese study content and video game walkthroughs. Yeah, catch you guys later. Jana.